Dude, this week kicked my ass. But I'm still here. Mark, and today we're talking about cheating. Sounds simple in concept, don't do it. And when you know it, the majority of Americans polled agree that cheating is wrong. However, the majority of Americans also cheat. Virtue signaling anybody? With the recent tabloids about Adam Levine's affair popping off, I figured now would be a good time to do a bit of a deeper dive into why cheating happens and ultimately why there's absolutely no excuse for it. Matter of fact, how cheating is even counterproductive to your goals. Because this is America. Nobody gives a fuck unless it works against their own personal goals. So to understand why the Adam Levine scandal kicked off this whole cheating tirade I'm about to go into, let's cover his story briefly. Trouble in Paradise. Adam Levine denied cheating on his pregnant wife, Bahati Princilo. Man, I hope I pronounced that right. As multiple women came forward claiming that he had inappropriate relationships with them. I used poor judgment speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner, the Maroon 5 frontman said in a statement in September 2022. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period of my life. You didn't have an affair, but you crossed the line. You want to cope any harder there, Adam Levine? In certain instances, it became inappropriate. Oh, Jesus Christ, the PR language is making me want to throw up. I have addressed that and have taken proactive steps to remedy this with my family. Levine continues, my wife and my family is all I care about in this world. To be this naive and stupid enough to risk the only thing that truly matters to me was the greatest mistake I could ever make. We will get through it, and we will get through it together. Hold up. You didn't have an affair, but what you did do wasn't enough to jeopardize your relationship, okay? The payphone singer's comment came one day after Summer Stroh claimed that they had a year-long affair via a now-viral TikTok video. The payphone singer's comment came one day after Summer Stroh claimed they had a year-long affair via a now-viral TikTok video. At the time, I was young, I was naive, I was very easily manipulated. Oh, give me a f***ing break. So one of the things I constantly harp on this channel is personal accountability. There has been times where we have all made bad decisions, and the key point when anybody, including me, makes a bad decision is taking personal accountability. The Instagram model said in the clip, adding that she never planned to come forward with her story. My morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. How are you unknowingly manipulated into a married man? Like, I'm trying to understand how this works. You didn't know that him sticking his wahoo into your yoo-hoo is sex? The comment from Straw showed no personal accountability. There was no, hey, I knowingly fucked a married man. But that's not what the simps are gonna say. No, bro, she was manipulated. She would never do something like that. Look at her. She has to be innocent. Fuck you. But let's continue. What possible conceivable way can you be manipulated into having an affair with a married man that absolves you of all responsibility? None. I'm not going to dig too deep into stress coping over here, because there's no point in trying to make someone see things that they're not willing to see. You have two camps. Camp 1 is cheating is wrong, period. That is the correct camp. And then there is camp 2, that a woman could never do anything sexually wrong. If she did something sexually wrong, it was only because someone made her. That's the problem with equality. Equality is a bitch sometimes, because with equal privilege also comes equal responsibility. And I am so sick and tired of how some people only want equality when it suits them, but does not want the responsibility that comes with it. It's a package deal. Moving on. In her initial video, Stroh claimed that several months after she and the Moves Like Jagger performer ended their relationship, he reached out to her once again. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I want to name it Sumner. Stroh claimed, once again showing screenshots from the messages Levine allegedly sent in June. He's asked, are you okay with that? Dead serious. The audacity this man has to have an affair and then name his child after his mistress. Are you shitting me? Here's the problem. I don't have to explain to you this is wrong. Adam Levine knew this was wrong. He just didn't give a fuck. And that's going to be the basis for my whole dissertation on cheating, but let's wrap this up. To analyze how the lack of accountability can ruin your life, let's look into one anonymous person's story of their affair and how they describe the situation. Tired of this shit. I am so tired of this shit. Goose frappa, Mr. Marketing. We're not even 6 minutes into the video.
My name is Kelly, and I cheated on my partner about 8 years ago. I was about 23, 24, and I had been with this person for about 3 years at the time. We hadn't been intimate in about 5 to 6 months, and a friend of mine invited me to Pride in Atlanta. There was an all-girl party, and this girl was there, and she was hitting on me. I let her know that night I have a girlfriend, and she was like, that's fine, like, we could be cool.
Strike one. She knew the other woman's intentions and she decided to hang out with her anyway.
So we partied for 2 nights straight, and on the second night, something came over me, and I was just like, you know, let's take a shower together when we get back to the hotel room.
Oh my God. Something came over me. You know what came over you? You being horny.
Like, just a shower, like nothing more.
Just a shower, nothing more. Dude, you knew it was wrong. You knew you were crossing the line. You wanted to get as close to satisfying that carnal urge without technically breaking the rules. Fuck out of here.
Got back to the hotel room, hopped in the shower, and actually nothing happened while we were in the
You still saw each other naked.
shower. Like, it was straight up like me washing her down, her doing the same, and like calling it a night. So it was late, and I was like, you know what? We have a big ass king size bed. And I was just like, oh God, what am I getting myself into? But also, I want to do it. Of course, I thought about my partner, but instant gratification takes over. So.
Thank you, God, she told the truth. She did all this because she wanted to. She wasn't manipulated. She wasn't in the wrong frame of mind. Nothing came over her. She fucked because she wanted to. You decided to fuck her. That's all it is. But do you see how she's constantly taking responsibility away from herself and put on everything else possible? If her excuses sound this stupid, you sound this stupid if you make these excuses. I've never cheated in any of my relationships. All the male friends I have never cheated in any of the relationships. What, are we defying human nature by not being cheating pieces of shit? No, we have this thing called self-control and integrity. And if there's anybody coping right now saying, well, when you cheat, it's gonna be different. No, if I cheat, I'll just been a piece of shit. Do you see the trend that she will blame everything but herself? Did someone hold a gun to her head and make her be in a monogamous relationship? Did her local municipality tell her that she wasn't in a monogamous relationship, they were gonna burn her at the stake? No, she chose a monogamous relationship. That's why I don't delve into Q&A too much with responses I get. There's absolutely no point in trying to get someone like this to see reason when their entire point is that nothing can ever be their fault. Yes, she should have just left the relationship if she wasn't happy with her partner. I know, I did that shit 3 times. And guess what? None of those times were because I felt like I had to conform to monogamy. It's because I wasn't happy in those monogamous relationships 3 times. And I wish so hard that someone in the comments would say that's easier for me because I'm a white man. I wish someone would do that.
It's the wish factor. We wish a motherfucker would be in our shit.
So in actuality, how big a problem is cheating? Pretty fucking bad. Admittedly, statistics when it comes to things like infidelity and relationships are really, really hard to pin down. But it can give us a general view of how things are going here in the States. For example, in a poll done by Regain.us, only 20% admitted to cheating, whereas 80% had no admission to cheating. However, in a study done by Buss and Shackelford, it's estimated anywhere from 30% to 60% cheat. And quite honestly, when you look at the divorce statistics and the reasons for divorcing, we're getting closer to that 60%. And this directly affects marriage rates, because the amount of Americans that have only been married one time, 19.45 million, is only about 1/3 of the Americans that have been married 2+ times. Now the naive and or brainwashed populace may say, well, Mr. Marketing, what's so wrong with being married more than one time? Simple, because of not only how it affects you, but how it affects other people. Because here's the problem. Most people will say that it's better to divorce than to fight in front of the kids. Now, there are cases where that's absolutely true. Here's the problem. That's not most of the cases. Domestic violence is only estimated to occur in 23.5% of divorces. And bear in mind, that includes physical and emotional abuse. Physical abuse is pretty easy to measure. Either you smacked around your spouse or you didn't. Emotional abuse, the fuck could that mean? It can range anywhere from gaslighting shit to just saying mean things. So no, domestic violence is not the majority reason why people split. The majority of the reasons is because most people don't want to stay married to each other for whatever reason. They grew apart, someone cheated, who gives a So no, I don't advocate for people staying together in a healthy relationship and placing children in abusive households. But abusive households are so overrepresented when it comes to divorce statistics, it is beyond ridiculous. In the meantime, let's look at how broken households affect the children's. Children are more likely to experience behavioral issues when parents divorce when the child is between the ages of 7 and 14. Children of divorced parents are twice as likely to drop out of high school. Children of divorced parents are more likely to get cancer. Children of divorced parents are twice as likely to self-delete. Children of divorced parents are 4 times as likely to have social problems. 70% of prison inmates incarcerated on long-term sentences grew up in a broken home, family separation statistics reveal. There are links between divorce and a child's academic performance. Teenagers whose parents divorce are 300% more likely to experience mental health issues. Children are at greater risk of living in poverty if their parents get a divorce. And for single mother households, experts are increasingly viewing child development disruptions through the lens of adverse childhood experiences. These potentially traumatic events can take many forms, such as divorce or parental separation, poverty, mental health challenges, substance use, an abusive home, exposure to violence, and so forth. ACEs can cause toxic stress, which can lead to lasting deleterious disruptions in a child's physical, mental health, education, or other life outcomes. Academically speaking, children in single-parent families are more likely to drop out of high school when compared to peers with married parents. This heightened risk is likely due to factors associated with many single-parent households. Research indicates that children with fewer economic resources, more family stability, and more ACEs are at increased risk of poor educational outcomes, including dropping out of school. And to see just how far the bias has gone in these types of arguments, look at the last section of this article, Strengths of Single-Parent Families. Many single parents provide stable, loving environments, relationships for their children. Examples of how single-parent families can benefit children include solo parents may have more time to focus on their kids. They no longer need to spend focusing on the needs of their spouse or partner. Years of fighting may precede a divorce separation. Ending this conflict provides a calm environment can reduce stress for both children and parents. Do you see what I'm saying? That before, when it comes to the downsides of a single-parent household, we have measurable statistics on that. But when it comes to trying to placate those that choose to live in single-parent households, it's maybe, possibly, could, perhaps. This is the nonsense I'm talking about when it comes to bias in these situations. So please, spare me the bullshit that divorces are there to save the kids. What it really is, as long as mommy and daddy are happy, the kids can fend for themselves. The primary root issue for cheating in America is selfishness. The only thing that matters is if I feel happy and I get to do what I want to do. Screw everybody else. And that fundamentally works against your own interests. Because think about it. If you're a selfish asshole, other people won't want to help you. Matter of fact, in response, they also may become selfish assholes. And if everybody's a selfish asshole, well, that's not really beneficial to nobody now, is it? So where does that leave us? Well, 2 things. 1, if you're a cheating piece of shit, you're not just affecting the lives of people around you, which you probably don't give a fuck about, you're also making your own life worse. In exchange for immediate gratification, or covering the fear of being alone, or any other number of desires, you are proactively robbing yourself of intimacy and purpose. Because if you keep cheating on people, and those relationships keep on not working out, how are you gonna have that deep, lifelong relationship? Yeah, what I thought. And a counter rebuttal is, well, one person cheated and now they're in a great relationship. And my response to that is, okay, and some bank robbers get away with their bank robberies. Does that mean it's a good idea for you to try and risk that shit? And 2, for however long they were in that initial relationship they cheated on, how many years of work did they rob themselves of? Because they just had to go and cheat. And for those that do not cheat, don't give in. Do not have pity on these cheating sons of bitches. There is no rewarding bad behavior. There is no let's talk this out. You just don't associate with them. And if you do decide to take back your cheating partner, I would heavily recommend strong boundaries. They haven't cheated on you. If they have a history of cheating on their other partners, I'm trying to tell you right now, you are not so special that they would never think about cheating on you. Why? Because don't you think their other partners thought that too? But no, it's different because it's you now, right? I'm gonna burst a blood vessel. This is Mr. Marketing. See you next time.
That's a lot of bad words.